Liam, just start off by reflecting on that win over Halifax, a really hard-fought win there in the semi-final.
Yeah, very hard. I think it was one of the most physical games that we've had potentially all year. They really came and gave it to us, and credit to Halifax for making it such a tough game. I was just proud of our boys the way we responded. We know we didn't play our best, and there's areas that we needed to fix up, and we will fix up. But yeah, overall, we got the win, and that's all that mattered.
Talk me through the way that you in particular as captain sort of managed that game, obviously with yourself and Toa out on that edge as well. When it's 20-6 down, that's a real sort of key point in the game. They get a couple of tries back, but I thought actually the way that you on that edge sort of managed the game in the early stage, in the late stages, sort of helped see out the win.
Yeah, I think that's my job in it. My boy don't really know what he's doing, so I don't know what he's going to do. We just play off the back of each other, and I sort of take a little bit more responsibility in managing the game, and so he can open up his maverick playing style, and it's worked so well. We've got a great relationship on and off the field, me and Atta, and long may that continue.
How much does that sort of factor into what he's able to bring as well? The uncertainty that, to a certain extent, you don't even know what Atta Ngano is going to do. So I don't know if he's sort of a step ahead of himself in that respect as well. But how much of that does, if he doesn't know what he's going to do, if you don't know what he's going to do, the opposition certainly haven't got a hope.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think one thing Atta's worked really hard on this year, and I've been so impressed with, is managing, when to play that maverick style of rugby. And previous years there's been a few errors here and there, and it can sort of swing momentum for the other team. And this year, I think probably not seeing as much of it, but the effect that's had on the team in being able to build our sets and transition how we want to, and ultimately put teams in places they don't want to be is huge. So Atta deserves a lot of credit for that. And I just said that I take a lot of responsibility for controlling it, but he's actually stepped up massively, which then helps me open my running game up a little bit. So yeah, I think we've got it bang on this year.
So that's obviously the offensive side of things. In terms of the defence, how important a cog in the wheel is sort of Paul McShane as well, the way that he's come in this year and sort of keyed in on a few players. You could almost sort of use him as a man marker at points throughout the game. But how important has he been this season for you?
Yeah, he's been awesome. I think that's clear for everyone to see the impact that he's had on this team. It was something that was probably missing. His direction and his leadership too. I lean on him quite a lot, and we also argue 4 times a day. But he's been fantastic, and I didn't know whether he still had the hunger when we signed him. It took me a week to realise, this is the man of steel, and there's a reason why he did win that. He's got a hunger to improve and to help us improve as well, which is fantastic. Macca's been great for not only me, but for all of our squad this year.
We spoke to Mark obviously about the championship awards, and I'll come on to talk about you being nominated for the amongst the 3 championship players at the moment. But obviously Mark's quite humble in being nominated for and being secured the championship coach of the year. How important a cog in the York Knights wheel is he, and in terms of how he's able to guide you and direct you this year? Yeah,
I think the biggest cog. I think we're not in this position without Mash and his leadership. It gives us a lot of free play, I guess, with direction, which is a team like ours. We like to play with the ball, and I think our brand of rugby is pretty good. It's nice to watch, and Mash deserves a lot of credit for that. He lets us play what we see, and he's not too directional with it, but we very much understand what he wants from us, and when we don't hit that mark, he lets us know.
Yeah, and you've clearly got a good working relationship as well. That seems sort of key to it as well.
Yeah, like on the field, I've just said he's great, but off the field is probably where I hold more respect for him. He's such a great man manager, and he's got a lot of time for the boys, making sure they're okay off the field, which is so important. You can do everything right on the field, but if you have stuff that you're not happy with off the field, you'll never perform to your best. And Mash has allowed us all to do that. He cares about us a hell of a lot, and we care about him too.
And in terms of the player of the championship nominations, obviously yourself, Paul McShane, Jordan Thompson as well, as I said to Mark, all deserving of that nomination for different reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for me personally, I've already won. I'm up there with two of my boys, so, whoever wins it, great. We're all going to be happy through each other. So, yeah, I'm over the moon to see Geordie and Mac up there, and obviously myself. But yeah, like I said, I've already won.
And Jordan Thompson in particular, a player that we've spoken about several times with Mark throughout the season, a player that maybe goes under the radar, just sort of Mr. Consistency through the year. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't think he goes under the radar within our group. Within our four walls, you know, he's one of the most highly regarded players that we have, just for his continuous and consistent effort that he puts in every week. And he's somebody that leads with actions, and you know what you're going to get with Geordie. And when he holds you to that account, you know you respect it because he's doing it each week.
In terms of the squad and how preparations have gone this week, has there been a sort of extra buzz around training this week with knowing that there's a grand final on the horizon?
I'm going to say no, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to the final. I think we've had that buzz all year. It's such a great place to come and work. You know, I get that buzz every time I rock up to training and just spend time with my mates. So yeah, it's nice that there's a grand final, but in terms of the extra buzz, mate, I'm not even joking. We've had it all season.
And we talked about it being a special group and a special team. Having that bond that you've had as a team this year, will you be, you know, almost a bit sad to see that sort of come to an end at the weekend as well? Yeah,
well, Mash has got a heart of stone. He said, no, yeah, I will be sad. I will be sad to see it come to an end. And that's why it's so important for me to make sure that we get the win this weekend, so we have an extra memory that we can look back on when time's done, because, you know, like I said, we're a group of best mates, and ultimately that's ending. So, yeah, I'll be sad.
Yeah, you've had a season of sort of making memories, haven't you? You've had obviously that 1895 Cup win down there at Wembley, and then obviously the League Leaders Shield, but there must have been so many points for you throughout the season, little memories that you have, no doubt, from the Toulouse trip as well. What are some of your standout memories with this group?
A lot of them I'm not allowed to say on camera, but
just watch your mouth.
No, look, like I just said, and it's a little bit cliche, but rocking up to work every week with a smile on my face, enjoying what I do, you can't put a price on that. Yeah. You really can't, and you know, I'm very grateful that this group is together and I'm a part of it, and you know, yeah, I loved every second of it so far. You've
clearly, obviously, committed your future to York as well, obviously signing the deal for next season as well. Whatever division you're playing in, obviously you've got ambitions to take this club to the top. Do you think it deserves a shot at Super League?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, our ambitions align, or I wouldn't have signed a deal. I do. You know, from my first game here in 2017, when I was just a boy, I felt something special, and I felt at home too, which is important to me. So I was delighted to sign another deal. And yeah, look, whether it be Super League or Championship, we're all hoping it is Super League, but you know, if it is Championship, I'm still going to be just as happy to be at this club.
Do you feel like you've personally come on a journey with this club as well, seeing it where you've obviously joined the club, as you said, back in 2017, and then bringing it to you now, where you're on the cusp of obviously Super League and on the cusp of potentially a historic treble as well?
Yeah, it's surreal looking back to 2017 and 2019 when I was here. You know, the club's almost chalk and cheese from where it's been, and you know, it's not got there through some massive investment backer. It's got there through, you know, sustainable hard work, and that's something I'm really proud of and proud to be a part of.
So then, looking at Toulouse, what can you take from the games that you have played against them this year as a player?
Well, I've only played against them once, and we won, so I was injured the last time we lost. But nah, look, Mash said it, they're the only full-time team in the competition, aren't they? And they're very fit, they're very big, physical, and the back five takes some handling. So, you know, we know, me and Atta know that our kicking game needs to be on point, and we know defensively that we need to have stiff shoulders. So, yeah, you know, Mash said it's just 80 more minutes.
How much does the crowd and the atmosphere mean? And no doubt you can hear that when you're a player out in the middle as well.
Yeah, we love it. We absolutely love it, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting out there for one last time. And I'll be sad that it's the last time this year as well. But they've been fantastic all year. Huge reason why we play to give them memories as much as ourselves, and you know, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the job done so they can go onto their travels with, you know, a treble in the bag and something to be proud of, like a team to really be proud of.
And just finally, for you as captain, how much would it mean to lift your third bit of silverware for the season?
Yeah, it would mean everything to me. I'm not going to hide that, but I'm also not going to get carried away looking too far ahead. I understand my job to make sure we get that job done, but on a personal note, I'm just so proud to lead these boys out each week, and it's a real privilege and honour. So, you know, to lift that would mean everything to me. It'd be pretty special, yeah.
Good luck for the weekend, Liam.
Thank you.
Obviously, you played in Super League before. How much do you want to get back there and have another crack at it now that you are an experienced halfback?
Yeah, it's been something that I've been longing for a long, long time, to be fair. And you know, there's been opportunities in the past that that I could have potentially taken, and I decided to stick with York because I thought it was the right thing to do, and fingers crossed, it pays off. But York's a place where I feel at home and I feel valued. And it means nothing more to me to get this club back there. But for me personally, yeah, it's a challenge that I'm really relishing to get back there, and I know that I'm in a much better position now than I was when I was 20, 21 when I was playing there.
I was going to ask that. Yeah, is that just a confidence thing, or just in terms of your all-round game?
I think there's a lot of things that go into it. I definitely wasn't ready when I was playing, and I was in a struggling FC side, and it was tough getting beat 7-0 every week. But it was a challenge that I really enjoyed, and looking back, there's things that I've learnt now throughout my career that could have made me so much better, and I take accountability for that. Wasn't good enough, and I've got a little chip on my shoulder that tells me that I can do it, and I'm looking forward to getting back there.
Is it a big consideration for players? Because you just think Super League and all players will be up for it immediately, but there are considerations like the job that they're in, the day job and stuff like that. Is it a big consideration? Yeah,
it's massive. We've got boys with kids and families to provide for that have very good jobs, and with the money that they earn from York as well, they're probably going to be taking pay cuts to go to Super League if that is the case. And all I think that shows is how much of a good group we have and how much good people we have. They want opportunity to learn, to improve, and to test themselves at the highest level.
From the talk then around the place, are you expecting most lads to make that step up and go full time and give up Monday jobs, without naming names, obviously?
I hope so, mate. I'm not too privy to them conversations. Obviously, they're all individual, but yeah, I really hope so. I think we've got a team. As Mash said, that a lot of them, majority of them, can take the step up and give it a real good fight with a couple of additions that the club's already announced. So it's exciting, isn't it? But to answer your question, the talk isn't about next year. We've got a job to do this year, and we're fully focused on that. In the off-season, we might chat about it.
Just one final one. It's all about that quarter of an IMG points.
That's it. We're not playing for a trophy. Nah. Look, I play for memories with the boys. Not even so much for silverware. Silverware is an added bonus for me. We've worked so hard since November to get here, so we're here now, and we don't want to let that opportunity slip. I think if we did, it'd be a massive catastrophe for us all, and there wouldn't be too many smiling faces, would they? So, look, I'm fully focused on making sure that we have some more memories to celebrate together, and we can enjoy a bit of time after it.
Nice one, thank you.
Hi, Liam. Since replacing Chris Clarkson as captain, I think it was 2024 now, the Knights have just got from strength to strength with you, sort of in that skipper role as well. Do you feel as if, in your experience now as captain across these past 2 seasons, that you will be able to, have that high level of responsibility for this grand final?
Yeah, I think so. I think that comes with my role as well as halfback. I didn't change anything when I was appointed captain. It was something that I was extremely humbled by and proud of. But I never changed what I did around the place or what I do on the field. I've always talked a lot of rubbish, to be honest. But yeah, I think learning from people like Chris Clarkson, Tim Spears before that, I've worked with some fantastic leaders at York, Danny Kermond. I've just tried to take a leaf out of each of their books and, hopefully put it into my own. And, I'm really enjoying the process so far, and I'm looking forward to leading the boys out, yeah.
There's a real good blend of sort of youth and experience in the group as well. Have you had the chance this season sort of put an arm around some of the younger players and just to guide them through some of the more difficult games?
Yeah, I think I've had to. I'm pretty empathetic anyway. I like helping people get better, and they help me get better too. It's very much a two-way street. But we've got some young boys in the group that probably haven't had as much game time as they'd like this year, and that's part of being in a successful team. And I've had many chats. My phone doesn't stop, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the off season. But the group's great. It's never a chore for me. I absolutely love my job, and whatever anyone needs, I'd do that anyway.
Just from a personal perspective as well, how do you sort of reflect on the season?
It's hard to reflect. I've not reflected when we're still going. Reflection for me is the off season when I'm sat on the beach. So to be honest,
Scarborough.
In Fiji. I've not reflected at all. I looked back when we had a week off, and we managed to get away for a couple of nights. So I had a little look back then and thought, wow, how good's this? But the only thing it made me do is made me more hungry for success. We're fully aware that we've got a big job to do on the weekend, and hopefully we get that job done, and we can reflect on it together after with a beer.
And on that weekend, obviously, with the grand final as well, how much of a boost is it for yourself and your teammates to have it played out the LNR as well?
I think it's huge. I think it's absolutely massive. Especially when we found out our opponents. There's half here that wants an unbelievable atmosphere. Someone mentioned Bradford travel well, which they do. I think for us it's a massive advantage that it's going to be full of York fans. You know, they're very loud and proud, and you know it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up at times. And you know, we're really looking forward to playing in front of them again for one last time in 25. I'm
sure you'll have your family and friends in attendance as well. But for you personally, what would it mean to you to win the grand final and complete the treble on Sunday?
Yeah, I just said it, like it's huge. It's huge not only for me, for the team, for the city, and for all the backroom staff that are involved at York, for all the volunteers. That's what means a lot to me. I've never really been individualised with my goals. I think a lot about the people that work hard and don't get recognition for it, and you know we're just a product of that. We'll take the plaudits, but realistically, it's a huge team effort and something I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Awesome.